Hello, hello. We've got a lot of prio damage. We just need some good old-fashioned AoE. I guess I don't hate a balanced druid here. Just to get Stampeding Roar, make sure that we get past the guys. It also benefits from Mystic Touch, or whatever it's called. Not Mystic Touch, but the other one. Chaos Brand, maybe? Chaos Brand sounds right. Which makes it pretty good for our team comp, considering our team comp is Havoc Demon Hunter plus Arcane Mage. What do you want, Lobine? Hmm? So, quick information about our talents for this key. We're currently using our No Umbilicus for build. The reason for that, Theater of Pain doesn't have a lot of damage. There are some moments that it could be dicey, I won't lie, but by and large, we should be able to coast by with just Rune Tap, just Foul. Um, so that's sort of the idea with our talent build right now. Should be pretty helpful. I think I might be starting to get a little sick. I'm not sure, but I do get a little bit of congestion. So just be nice to me. Need to get my gear recrafted. Got the crests for it, that's for sure. Okay. We're just waiting on this druid to get into the group, or get into the key, that is. As for our route, gonna be a pretty standard one. We're gonna be skipping 2 mini bosses, pulling 2 platforms. Now, assuming we don't have like major league fuck ups before we hit the platform area, it should be a pretty chill key, very timeable, very easy key in my opinion. It just requires that everyone stay focused and be prepared. Now, as for how our damage profile is going to work out, Boomkin is going to be our AoE here. The Demon Hunter and the Mage are going to be our priority damage. I mean, everyone knows Arcane Mage is kind of like the thing right now, so it shouldn't be too bad. That's right, Bean. You make a very good point. Okay, countdown's coming up. My cat's got the zoomies right now, hoping she doesn't brick it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, one and all, to the theater of pain! It seems these upstarts think they can compete with the best combatants in all of
AoE.
wrestlers!
Frontal.
I'll believe it!
Get a Death Strike proc, which means big old Galunka hits there.
Prove entertaining! Bring in the challengers!
Dean is currently knocking over pill bottles on my bets.
Dance.
Pretty
AoE.
cool of her.
Debuffs. Debuffs.
We're gonna AMF here, but we don't have to worry about Searing Death.
Frontal.
That's a non-Death Knight problem.
Frontal. Debuffs. AoE. Dance. Debuffs.
We can go ahead and AMS with Searing Death.
Frontal. Debuffs. Frontal.
And we're gonna pop Tombstone. Just get a nice little bit of CDR on our Dancing Rune weapon.
Dance.
Do you guys know why pirates have the lowest cooldowns? Because of their CDR.
Frontal. Frontal. AoE. Dance.
So, Desia is ending up dying last year. Fortunately, she shouldn't be using Mighty Smash in time for that to be a problem. Pretty interesting to have happen, though. I'll say that.
Disappointment!
Let me go ahead and get some music on while,
How unexpected! It seems our little pups have some bite after all!
while we're in the RP here.
Preliminaries are over. The real trials can begin! New challenges. We'll see how long we can last.
Dodge. Dodge.
Use Icebound Fortitude for this Savage Flurry. We didn't have, what's it called? We didn't have Dancing Rune Weapon up, so
Dodge.
it's a good time to do that. And we'll use Rune Path for this one.
Dodge. Dodge.
And now we've got Dancing Rune Weapon up again, which means we're kind of okay. This boss pumps the tank, so you have to be very careful. If you don't have a defensive up, then he could very easily kill you. Fortunately, we get a Icebound Fortitude proc there. I also used our combustible bomb suit.
Dodge.
That gentleman just got killed by something that he definitely wasn't in, but that's fine.
Dodge.
Dancing Rune Weapon ends during this flurry, which is why we use a Rune Tap.
Dodge. Dodge.
And we pretty comfortably come over here. So we can go right about here. Going on me.
3, 2, 1.
Now, in my opinion, I've done this dungeon a few times now. I'm sort of coming to the conclusion that it is a dungeon where you always need a druid, or a hunter. But if you're going with like a demon hunter, or if you want a priest, there's a solid chance that you're gonna have to go druid. The unfortunate fact of the game right now is the best way to do this dungeon is with Sue. Like, there's no shot you're going to be doing a raging tantrum on an 18 during the first boss, and you need to be able to do that first boss full, in my opinion. This is because of the RP in here, it's a fairly tight timer. So it's definitely a little weird.
2, 1.
There's a lot of fights, or there's a lot of dungeons this season where skips are just like almost absolutely necessary, with some exceptions. And a lot of those skips aren't like particularly classic Gnostic.
My blade knows no equal. Can you match my strength?
Dodge. Frontal.
Fight for glory!
PvP incoming.
Crawl before the storm!
Get a nice bound fortitude proc there. Got another one. Nice.
Crawl before the storm!
So I guess my biggest advice with
Can you match my strength?
with building your character right now, or with doing talents on Blood DK, would probably be to do them with intention.
Dodge.
We have a very tight budget on our points right now. If you can eke out extra performance in a dungeon, it's worth it. But you have to account for like the survivability of the dungeon. I don't think I would ever want to do like Cinderbrew Meadery without Umbilicus. And here though, the damage is pretty predictable.
My strength!
It's a pretty chilled
Dodge.
dungeon in my opinion.
Dodge.
You! Show me what you can do!
Kind of surprised this guy died to Sav as a druid, but it happens.
Crawl before the
We all make mistakes, John.
cower
Dodge.
before my might!
Frontal.
Most likely, it's going to be Deafening Crash here.
Dodge.
I'm just going to pop a Death's Advance, and then I'm just going to stand in it. It doesn't deal too much damage to me.
Crawl before the storm! Cower
Dodge.
before my might!
Frontal.
We want to be using our consumption in the last 4 seconds. Most of you probably know this already.
Incoming.
Well, maybe you don't. The reason that you want to use your consumption in the last 4 seconds is because it gives the increased tick rate on your blood plate to your infliction of sorrows.
Phantom.
Now, another thing I'm going to do here that I generally wouldn't recommend is I'm actually going to hold Bone Storm rather than use it. And that's not because I want to use. That's not because of this fight. I want to be able to keep my Bone Shield stacks for the next pull. Is pretty much what it comes down to. It's very hard to do in this dungeon. Keeping your Bone Shield stacks between different areas. So, anytime that we can, we will. Got a nice little proc there. Helps me do some damage to the enemy.
Our challengers have passed the first trial, but they're still a long way from the title!
So I use Bone Storm now. That way I get to keep my Bone Shield stacks while moving between these different areas. Some groups do, like, full pull this area. I don't intend to. I used consumption way too early here. Looks like we accidentally delayed Lust a little bit. Not that big of a deal. Just don't have any deaths for it. The group's done a pretty good job of staying like together as well. This wasn't as horrible as it usually is. These little jumpy boys are obnoxious as fuck. Slip on by here.
Dodge. Dodge.
We're not pulling the extra guys yet. With the gas bag, they're just really scary.
Dodge.
Now, I will say, whoever designed this place is a moron. Oh no. Oh no. I've become the guy who gets hit by the withering discharge. That's my bad. Okay, and now we can move forward. We use AMS to make sure we don't get hurt by the Decaying Strike.
chop you
Hooks
up.
incoming.
No
Dodge.
escape. Gonna chop you up. No
Hooks incoming.
escape. Open you up.
Could have played that a lot better.
No
Dodge.
escape.
Hooks incoming.
Open you up.
Give an AMZ for everyone here.
Hooks incoming. Dodge.
Smash you to pieces. Open you up.
Ooh, how did he die?
Hooks incoming.
Escape. Open you up. I'll catch something good.
Dodge.
Escape.
Hooks incoming.
Gonna chop you up. Gonna chop you
Hooks
up.
incoming.
No
Dodge.
escape. Gonna chop
Now, unfortunately, because we've had to use so many B-reses already, we don't have it for this fight. Pretty big deal, I would say.
Hooks incoming.
escape.
Okay, Bean, you're on my keyboard.
Open you up. I take all your flesh. Bleed you more spare parts. I am made of only the best.
You are just the worst.
Report.
Yeah, let me move you.
Strength means everything to the Maldraxi. Prove that none can match you in the arena. I thirst for combat!
I don't have a target.
Okay, well. We made it. Or we didn't make it, but we're gonna try again. If everyone plays well, we time. It's no big deal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Second mud puppy got me.
One and all, to the theater of pain!
Truly a statement, huh?
It seems these upstarts think they can compete with the best combatants in all of Maldraxxus!
AoE. Frontal.
I'll
Debuffs.
believe it when I see it! By
AoE.
the way, this should prove entertaining! Bring in the challengers!
Dance. Debuffs.
The AMS here, that way we don't get Searing Death.
Frontal. Debuffs. Frontal.
Failed the consumption there, we're just gonna use it now.
AoE. Debuffs.
Double Icebound Fortitude proc, but they're outside of AMZ, or not AMZ, but PRW. No. So many procs wasted.
Debuffs. Frontal. Debuffs. Frontal.
Of course, I didn't get any once I was in my window, huh?
Debuffs. Dance.
Dropping Mr. Searing Death is actually not a bad choice.
Frontal.
We're not going to use Bone Storm for this fight, or any more in this fight, that is.
Dance.
Tombstone is fine, though.
AoE. Frontal.
Alright, very nice. That was a faster time, and we get to keep our Bone Storm. We're gonna use it as we get pulled up. That way we can keep our Bone Shield stacks going into Brutalizer / whatever the other guy is. Mangler, I think. And we'll be chilling.
Now that the preliminaries are over,
Okay, I might have used it too late.
trials can begin!
Oh, it's so doomed. No, we're good. It's so over, we're so back, you know? Big Wraith Walk.
New challenges. We'll see how long you can last.
Huge, we actually get a proc in Dancing Rune Weapon this time.
AoE.
A little worried there for a second about that Druid, but we're not, we're okay.
AoE.
We had Mass Barrier. Me using AMZ over there was foolish.
AoE.
3, 2, 1, go. A-bomb them out. We have a blood beast here as well.
I'm out of range. Can't attack that target. I don't have a target.
3, 2, 1.
Quickly get out of here. And we are good. Those are probably the two biggest time sinks in this dungeon, aside from just straight up dying.
At best make this interesting. My blade knows no equal. Can you match my strength?
Dodge. Dodge.
Fight for glory!
BDK incoming.
I'm surprised he doesn't just cat shift, to be honest.
My blade knows no equal. My blade knows no equal.
A little late on the death strike prop, but sure.
How about my might?
Dodge. Dodge.
Fall before the storm. Cower before my might.
Dodge. Dodge.
Fight for glory.
BDK incoming.
Fall before the storm.
Now, fortunately for them, the mage did not get sent down into the fucking arena. That should be a pretty nice increase to our damage overall, I would say.
Frontal.
My strength.
Dodge.
You do have to be very careful, though, because of that.
My blade knows no equal. Can you match my strength?
Dodge. Frontal.
Fight for glory.
BDK incoming.
Get an oppressive banner.
Fall before the storm.
This time we've got Demon Hunter, which means we're dealing quite a bit more damage to it.
Cower
Dodge.
before my might.
Frontal. Dodge.
Now we did use Bone Storm when we really shouldn't have, so.
No equal.
We're gonna do this. And we're just gonna focus on gaining some Bone Shield stacks while we kill him. We're gonna hope for the best. No way to really be sure if we're gonna
Trial.
keep him or not.
There's still a long way.
Probably no, but I've been lucky before.
It's too far away.
Oh, so close.
Look what we have here. Fresh meat.
Damn, if only I'd gotten that Death Strike proc a little sooner, huh? Damn, that felt pretty nice. Let's see. Either one of them really works. Doesn't make too much difference. This one's technically further, so go with that. Dismiss my ghoul just to be safe.
Dodge.
Too far away.
Dodge.
I'm out of
Play it safe here. I want this gas bag dead, then we'll pull into the next pack.
Dodge.
I'm out of range. I'll catch something good. Gonna chop you
Hooks
up.
incoming.
Escape.
Chop,
Chop you
like I mentioned before, he's not the most scary boss. He deals a decent chunk of damage without umbilicals, I will say that. You just need to be wary of that. Otherwise, though,
pieces.
he's pretty zug, I would say.
Gonna chop you up.
Put out an AMZ just to help reduce the damage here.
Good.
Dodge.
Smash you to
Hooks incoming.
pieces. Gonna chop you up. More spare barns. Open you.
Quick little combustible there.
Dodge.
Making sure we take aggro on these guys just so that we don't have melees in addition to their immense leap damage. Ooh, fat proc, big balls. Consumption. What can I say? I'm a consumer. Doing alright.
I'll catch something good. No escape.
Hooks incoming.
Open you up. I'll catch something good. Open you up.
Hooks incoming.
No
Dodge.
escape. Gonna chop you up. More spare parts.
Pretty comfortable so far. Looking like Gore Chop's gonna go down fairly easily.
Princess. Open you up. More spare parts.
Dodge.
That's you the
Hooks incoming.
princess.
We are not going to use AMZ here, however. Nor are we going to use A-Bomb Limb. What we want right now is we want to maintain any big AoE stuff for the next pool.
Another trial down. Looks like we might have some real contenders here.
Mortal lives are so fleeting, so fragile.
Hmm? Hmm? Did both get hit by necrotic volley? Really?
AoE.
Wild to get necrotic volleyed of all things. We're at 17, by the way.
AoE.
always tell your group not to kick the Dark Speakers. They just don't deal enough damage to justify it. It's better to just let them keep casting on the thing.
Dodge.
You can kick them once to, like, group them, but otherwise there's just no need.
Dodge. 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 Dodge.
Making our way up. Get a little Wraith Walk action in. Death and Decay.
Souls are mine to claim.
Force. Debuff.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna stand still first of all. Don't want to accidentally necrotic eruption someone. We're gonna save our kick for when she targets somebody who has Well of Darkness on them. Just to make sure that she doesn't end up like properly sending someone into the dirt.
Orbs. Debuffs. Debuffs.
With all of the souls dead, we can use A-Bomb Limb here. A little bit of a luxury on this fight, to be honest, but...
Orbs. Debuffs. Debuffs.
We're gonna need a kick on that bad. Okay, we're okay.
Hands. Orbs. Debuffs. Debuffs.
We got that last guy just slowly being whittled down. I'm not too stressed about him.
Hands.
Obvious focus boss angle.
Orbs.
This does not end here.
We're going to use Bone Storm again, as you've been seeing, just to make sure that we don't run out of Bone Shield stacks as we go up.
Begin the main event! Soldiers of Maldraxxus! Are you ready for some carnage? Out of range. A rising stars now face the longest reigning champion the Theater of Pain has ever known! Ordretha, the Endless Empress!
At long last, a worthy contender. Behold my power and despair.
We shouldn't have AMS'd the first Reaping Scythe, by the way. That was a misplay.
You shall be swift.
The reason being that we can actually reduce the amount of manifest deaths in the arena, which is just worth it. You can also do so while still having an AMS for Reaping Scythe later, so...
My magic reaches beyond your mortal ken.
We used Combustible there. Pretty chill.
Reality turns its ire against you.
For this one, we'll use Rune Path.
You shall be swept into oblivion.
Give her a sec, and now we AMS. You have to give her about a second to make sure that your AMS still catches the Reaping Scythe afterwards.
Demands your soul.
Which I'm aware is just like degenerate as hell, but hey, it's kind of fun.
You shall be swept into oblivion. Whom you have slain, cry out for vengeance.
Probably used too many of those here.
Dodge. Charge is incoming.
You shall be swept into oblivion. Reality turns its ire against you.
AMS too early here.
Dodge. Charge is incoming.
My magic reaches beyond your mortal ken.
I myself get bounced around a little bit there, I'm not gonna lie. That was a little silly of me.
Dodge.
Reality turns its ire against you.
Charge is incoming.
You shall be swept into oblivion.
Dodge.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty chill fight for me.
Death itself demands.
We've actually got a very, like, comprehensive kit for this one.
Charge is incoming.
Accept your defeat. My magic reaches beyond your mortal ken.
Our agreement stands. For now.
Yes!
2IO, not bad.
Has been defeated! I can hardly believe it! All hail the new champions of the arena! Victory and glory are yours! May you fight forever! More walkers!
Not bad. 2IO isn't a terrible payout. We'll see if we can sneak into this guy's floodgate. To be honest, doing an 18's floodgate does kind of sound like my own personal lair of hell. But that is the chi I got. We'll try it. Cowardice never helped me, right? Excuse me. I don't think this guy needs this key. I'll send him an invite, but... Okay. We got two gamers here. I don't know what this druid is doing in this key. It's an 18. He has resilient 18s. Not quite sure what his goal is, really, but maybe he's just trying to get a warm-up in. Who knows? What we're essentially looking for in this key is going to be a hunter. I didn't like Parasitic. I played with him. I wasn't a fan. Either a Hunter or a Resto Shaman would be fine. This Enhancement Shaman's kind of thick, though. We're a fairly high melee group, so we do have to be careful in that regard. I find this guy's eye level a little scary. I'm surprised he's not 680 right now. We'll take it, though. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so this makes our current key an 18 Bloodgate. Not bad.
We need to get closer.
Man, I gotta like figure out the lyrics to this song. I know there's websites where you can, I know there's videos with it, but it would go so hard. Okay, we're doing pull 5 because I know that we have a
5, 4,
enhanced shaman.
2, 1.
Okay. Tombstone.
Free move incoming. Move.
Dancing Rune Weapon coming up makes this a lot more comfortable.
Frontal.
Now we're an all melee group just about. Means we do have to be very careful for wind up. Let me have these guys pass real quick. We have capped AoE, so there's not much use in, like, over-pulling here. Got some helpful Icebound Fortitude procs there, though. And now we can start to move forward here.
Switch. Avoid. Avoid.
Someone stood a little too close. Not that big of a deal, though.
Avoid. 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 Switch.
Not bad.
Avoid. 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 Avoid.
I'm just gonna go around, bro. That shit's... I don't want to be the guy who blows up, you know?
Well, well,
Free move
what
incoming.
have we here?
Move. Frontal.
These guys stay right where you are.
Frontal. Free move incoming. Move.
Thanks for tuning in, Adeline.
Free move incoming.
You're a gamer as always.
Move.
Too far away.
Frontal. Frontal.
Get closer.
Pre-move incoming. Move.
Out of range.
Pre-move incoming. Move.
Too far away.
Frontal. Frontal.
Get closer. Out of range.
Pre-move incoming. Move.
Get closer.
Welcome to the firing range.
It's playtime.
Frontal.
Playtime.
I'm just gonna put out an A and Z for anyone
Dodge.
might be shot at. Just to make this transition slightly easier.
Yes, yes.
Bombs incoming. Debuff.
Damn, I need to drink some water.
Charge. Aim charge. Dodge. Charge. Aim charge. Charge.
Don't mind me, just
Aim
run
charge.
around like a little chimp. Nah, I'm just gonna keep.
Debuff.
Bean! Off of my computer. This cat, man.
Dodge.
Pow! Kapow!
Bombs incoming. Debuff. Charge. Aim
Stand
charge.
still.
Charge.
I ain't done with you.
Charge. Aim charge. Dodge. Aim charge. Debuff.
Doing pretty good on these bombs. Very nice.
Dodge.
Yes, yes, yes.
Bombs incoming. Debuff.
Here's a good thing that everyone on my team has a raid bomb.
I'll
Charge.
get him,
Aim
boss.
charge. Dodge. Charge. Aim charge.
Charge, aim, charge, charge.
Aim charge. Debuff. Dodge.
Yes, yes, yes.
Bombs incoming. Debuff. Charge. Aim
Stand
charge.
still.
Charge.
I ain't done with you.
Dodge. Charge. Aim charge. Charge. Aim charge. Debuff.
Well, if we're going to kill them at a separate time, this is probably the moment, huh?
It's full. Bronze. Full.
Like you said. Boss.
Very clean kill on the demolition duo. I'm gonna give our healer a sec to catch up before I start pulling.
Out of range. It's too far away.
Dodge.
Out of range.
Dodge.
Get closer.
fucking hate that ability, man.
Avoid. High energy. Boss shielded. Damage out.
Pump as much damage as we can into her right now. Scary ass fight, but hey.
Avoid. Avoid. High energy.
We've got what's it called? Combustible for this, so we
Boss shielded.
don't have too much stress there.
Avoid. Damage out. Ants. Avoid. Avoid. High energy. Boss shielded. Damage out. Ants.
2 deaths so far. Not terrible.
Avoid. Avoid. High energy. Boss shielded.
Okay. Set out AMZ for the killer block.
Avoid. Damage out.
Okay. I just fucking fell, bro. Moonguard RP Walk Master.
I'm out of range. It's too far away. I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
That's me, baby.
Dodge. AoE. AoE.
I focused my attention on the Demolitionist here. I have Brick, which means that we can pretty much keep him locked down the entire fight if I play correctly.
I need to get closer.
This is one of the hardest pulls in a dungeon full of hard pulls, and it's just a bunch of fucking health. By the way.
Too far away. I'm out of range.
Okay. Smogface is a scary boss for sure.
Links incoming. Link.
So I'm scarier, I would say.
Dodge together. AoE and dance. Links incoming.
Fiend, I need you to move.
Dodge together.
She's like taking my entire fucking desk.
AoE and
I've
dance.
got barrier for this one, so I'm not gonna bother AMZing. Ooh.
Links incoming. Links. Dodge together. AoE and dance. Links incoming. Linked. Dodge together. AoE and dance.
This one we have Lust up for, which makes it a lot less scary.
Links incoming.
We're gonna Bomb Suit here for this Sludge Claw.
Linked. Dodge together. AoE and dance. Links incoming. Linked. Dodge together. AoE and dance. Links incoming. Linked. Dodge together.
Come on, bud.
Dodge. Frontal.
Far away. Too far away. I don't have a target. I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
This should set us up for a big beam in a sec here.
Out of range.
Unless we don't. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm forgetting that we're Feral Druid. I don't know why I even mentioned beam. Damn, this druid's not been using beam the entire key. What the fuck?
Too far away.
Okay. Mind Soothe. Everyone's passed.
Get closer. Out of range.
Soon I shall have the power I require!
marked this guy way earlier.
I don't have a target.
Now this is going to give us 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
You dare question me?
AoE
Face
and dance.
annihilation! Power! Power! Power!
Dodge.
They lived.
Try and die!
Debuffs.
Giga-zap! You dare hit your wits against mine?
We're kiting our spark until right about now. And that should set us up to have AMS on Thunder Punch and stop the scariest part of it, which is the dock.
Debuffs.
Giga-zap!
Communicate that I have AMZ
AoE
up.
and dance.
Power! Power! Power!
Dodge.
Try and die!
Debuffs.
Giga-zap! You dare hit your wits against mine?
Just like before, we're only kiting long enough for our Thunder Punch, to happen. Then we can go.
Try and die!
Very nice.
Giga-zap!
AoE and dance.
It's working! It's working!
Dodge.
Try and die!
Debuffs.
Giga-zap! You dare
Pretty huge.
wits against
Leaping
mine?
Sparks are out. Got AMS here, so I'm just, like I said, I'm just sort of fighting until ready. Now we're good.
Try and die!
Debuffs.
Giga-zap!
Putting in that little bit of extra effort is just a lot less damage on you, so there's no real reason not to.
Working! It's working!
Dodge.
What?
Try and
One of us just PC'd, holy fuck.
Debuffs.
giga-zap! You dare hit your wits against mine? Try and die!
Debuffs.
Giga-zap!
No fucking way, dude! Seriously? God damn it! What the fuck? Ah! He DCs in the last minute, and we're over by 5 seconds. Thank you for the follow, Noan. That's so, just, why? Oh my god, man. And now I have another fucking 17 Theater of Pain. Well, there goes my 18. Hey man, congrats. It's a lot of difficulty. I get it. Those 16s are rough. It took me like a week to jump from 15 to 16. GG's. You caught me at a bad moment, but hey, glad I could help. Oh man. I'm glad that you got some extra information about that, because to be honest, that makes me very happy. Mood went from down here to up here. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, it's so much more efficient to do it that way. It took... I didn't even think about it until, I think it was like a 16 floodgate where I was like, huh, maybe I could do this a little bit better. It's just a little bit less running around and trying to fight other people for their stuff. Exactly, man. Well, I'm going to try to apply to some 18s real quick. Probably not going to get invited, but I'll, if it doesn't work out in that regard, guess I'll be pushing another 17 Theater of Pain. Ah. I don't rage at the game very often. I'll be honest, that one had me a little heated. Less Feratus. Over 5 seconds because Druid DC'd. I got this, bro. Maybe he'll let me in. Maybe Los Feratus is feeling generous, you know? Gotta take what I can. Oh, excuse me. Oh man, I get that. I have too much time on... I have too much free time on my hands right now, so I get to be a little bit degen, but not everyone does. It's some people have things more important than pushing keys in their life, you know? You're so cute, Bean. Pretty much, man. Especially playing an off-meta spec during the turbo boost is kind of rough. Just because all of a sudden demon hunters and stuff like that weren't capable have become capable. The Bean's right here. Do you not see her? Actually, usually it doesn't pick her up this well. I'm kind of proud of that. Isn't that right, girl? She was stepping on my keyboard during that key, by the way. I probably could have picked up the 5 seconds from the time that she alt-tabbed me. Hey, girl. Mwah. Yeah, she's exceptionally sweet. Her own cam on our cat tree. She actually... Okay, sometimes she'll sleep in the cat tree. Usually, though, she just wants to fucking chill in the, what's it called? Most of the time, she just wants to chill in, like, a random box or under the bed. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to pick up a cat while she's under the bed, you know? I gotta get, like, a night vision filter. Oh. Oh, girl. Yeah, kind of looking like I might be, pushing up my theater of pain here. Is the music too loud, by the way? It's fairly loud for me, but I also have the thing turned down between desktop audio versus mic. I figured I'd ask. Hell yeah. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, looking like boss nukes were noticeable on stream. Okay, cool. I'm glad that the audio is not too bad. I had a little bit of issues with it initially. Probably not gonna get into these 18s, it's looking like. I'll give them a sec. Otherwise, it might be 17 theater dimension. You know, I probably should have added those guys afterwards. I feel like they probably would have played with me again. The, no ads midstream. Is there a way for me to, like, make sure that I don't have ads? I don't think you can do that anymore, right? Like, I think you used to be able to. Ads just seem... I mean, I mentioned it to you, Adeline. I aggressively hate advertising. It's so annoying. Got a sub? Pain. Well, I will say, I felt pretty good about that floodgate. My biggest mistake was, we should have skipped past the trash before Big Mama. Oh, do I? Yeah, here, 1 second. So what I sort of do is I do the standard pull here. It looks... Or actually, this is messed up. 1 second, sorry. I was like, what's happening here? Yeah, we're just gonna make a new route. I don't know why it messed up. No, you're all good. Okay, so I grabbed this footman set. I grabbed this knight, this footman, guard captain Solomon. Pull them onto the stairs. You can go in the corner here, but if you just stand on the stairs themselves, he won't be able to knock you back. It's totally fine. You're not a demon hunter. You don't have Sigil of Silence, so you're gonna want to chain pull these packs into chainmail. Just be careful not to overwhelm your group with kicks if they're not doing hot on them. After that, you're skipping these guys. We'll do a little arrow as a treat. I messed up the arrow. Skipping those guys, and what you're gonna want to do is you want to grab this pack. This footman / conjurer pack. The way that I recommend you do this: pull the patrol here, wait until the priest is dead, and then you can chain in the conjurer and the priest. You don't lose too much time on it. But like skull mark the priest in the first pack. That way you don't want to overwhelm everyone with casts. At least not in a pub group. After that, walk around the edge. You may have seen this before. You just sort of walk around the edge here. Grab these two footmen, pull them onto the High Priest. Obviously, you're going to get the little guys with them. And then that should leave you with Tainer. Pulling in with the Whirlynxes. Just be careful. Make sure you put out like an AMZ for the Prowls. Afterwards... Sorry, let me respond to this guy so he doesn't think I'm just entirely ignoring him. Gale'Cry, obviously. In here, I recommend you do the Zealous Templar, the Neophytes, and this left pack over here. What I would recommend you do, to make sure that you don't get annihilated by the Neophytes, if you hit them with an ability before you enter the room, she doesn't empower them during the RP. So you know how, like, she goes, "Are these Steel Strikes lackeys?" And then just, like, gives them 1 billion extra damage. If you hit them first, she doesn't do that. And then you walk in, pull them onto the Paladin and the Templar. I recommend using this pack here as sort of like a cooldown pack. You can chain pull it, but only after like the Conjurers and Priests are dead. Then I usually put these guys together. Obviously, Brawn Pike. I typically make it my job to solo soak the 5-stack Braziers rather than bothering with the 3 ones. Devout Priest. Footman pull here together, nothing too exciting. After you've killed that pack, I like to take the Light Spawn. Yeah. Most DKs know it, but, you know, covering my bases and all that. I recommend that you either take this pack here and chain it with the Paladin, and then, or sorry, I'd sort of recommend you take this pack here, chain it with the Paladin, and you chain this one here, sort of together. And just be mindful of everyone's health and like how they're doing with kicks. I've done all room before. I think that it's not bad. I don't think it's necessary in a lot of cases, so that's why I don't usually bother. I try to go for like consistency where I can. You can definitely do the Templar into this pool though, on this side, and then you can chain pull the 2 stair guys. It's completely doable. It just requires a bit of extra like elbow grease, I guess, would be the case. Brawn Pike, one thing that I like to do, I like to walk along this right wall here, grab this pack, and then grip the priest into him. It just sort of chains them a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, it's just putting you with about 100%, and you're pretty much chilling with that. Nothing too exciting. Sorry, I know I just closed it, but... Yeah, this is sort of a standard route. I've thought about doing one where you drop the knights. There are some routes where, for example, you might skip the first pack, skip all of the knights, do Guard Captain Suleiman or whatever his name is, with like a bunch of footmen and sharpshooters instead. That's a valid pull or a valid setup. I just haven't experimented with it enough. It's kind of like, I don't typically have like a full group, so it tends to be a little rough to do too much experimentation on a non-resilient key, you know? Now, our comp for this particular key, it's probably going to be a Meta Chaser comp. Reason is, we've got a Havoc Demon Hunter, we've got an Arcane Mage, we need a Soothe. That the only Soothe that would benefit from our setup here would be a Balanced Druid, so... It is what it is, you know? Oh, what a good cat.
Strength
Hey, man.
every
I'm happy to
bit,
help.
Maldraxi. Prove that none can match you in the arena.
Oh, somehow I didn't notice, but I did also get followed by 9 Fame earlier. All good, man. I appreciate you tuning in. I love getting questions. It's fun. Best part of streaming for me. What's the matter, girl? Hmm? Oh. You're about to drool on me, aren't you? Goofy ass cat. Gonna go Bloodshot this key. Oh, hi. Hi, you. Little worm. This sweet cat. Yeah, let me adjust a little bit. Got that Death Note stance right now. It's here. I just typed /RC in Twitch chat instead of party chat. That was pretty big of me. We need Alk Chaos. And then Algary Mana. Ooh, Feast of the Midnight Masquerade. We've got some gamers in tonight.
I need to get closer.
Let's get this countdown rolling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She is. Change to Deathbringer when you were starting 12s. You feel worried about going Sand Lane? So, Deathbringer is not the meta spec, but it is actually the more survivable one. It's the reason Sand Lane is so good is just because of its damage, but Deathbringer is a completely viable choice. In fact, I think the top Blood DK in the world right now is using Deathbringer in a lot of his keys. He swaps between them. In his particular example, what you end up seeing is he uses it in like Priory, for example, where there's just a lot of damage, and then he drops it in Workshop. Okay. He drops it in like Mechagon Workshop because there's just not that much tank damage to worry about. My main thing though, if you want to play Sand Lane, or if you want to try it, make sure that you have gear ready for it, and make sure that you sort of understand the concepts behind it. Because I was struggling with it initially before I like to sit down and like reread everything to understand how it all fit together. You know how hard it is for Death Knights to read. One thing, I wouldn't be surprised if you've already noticed, but what you can do on this fight, you can AMS Searing Death each time, and it'll set you up so that you no longer have to worry about the little, the dots going on. Especially if you're in a melee-heavy group, it's pretty helpful, I'd say. Also, just a heads up, guys, Twitch chat is struggling a little bit to update. So that if I take a moment, that's why. Yeah, that's fair, man.
Mental.
I'm sort of the opinion that Blood Beast isn't something to play around. It's kind of just... If I get lucky, I get lucky, right? But really, the most important thing with Sand Lane is knowing how to play around, like, Infliction of Sorrows.
AoE. Dance.
And no, it's pretty hard to get people to do things. Now, unfortunately, I did use Bone Storm near the end of that fight, which doesn't sound like that big of a deal. I like to have it when the fight ends. That way I can keep my Bone Shield stacks for the next one. Especially since I do the Zav area first. There's a good chance I end up having to fight the Brutalizer with, like, no stacks. And that's Savage Flurry trucks. Should be okay, though. Just means I have to be a little more cautious as I go up. No pet battle this dungeon? Yeah, no, I don't think that's worth doing on Blood. I just thought it was fun to try. Wanted to see if it worked, you know?
Dodge. Dodge.
A little unlucky on the parry there, but that's fine. Icebound Fortitude for this one. Yeah, no, it's... In this dungeon especially, I recommend keeping it for, the end of Zav, the end of Gorchop, and the end of, that first boss.
Dodge.
It's just so annoying to have to reset all of my stacks otherwise.
Dodge.
We'll use Bomb Suit just to be safe.
Dodge.
Sometimes his Savage Flurry deals like no damage, other times
Dodge.
it's like a cataclysmic event happening to you. Just depends on how lucky you get with like parry.
Dodge.
Alright, we're gonna put a marker right about here. Everyone's up. I need to make a macro for this.
3, 2, 1.
Gonna put down AMZ for them, just that we're less likely to get shot to death. Also, of course, Adeline, I had the opportunity. You're the only person who I could ask to to pet battle me in the middle of a key. It's important. Go ahead and get my consumption down. This truly is one of the packs that Blizzard has made. I'm a big fan.
3, 2, 1.
Shout out to Stampeding Roar. Unfortunately, aside from saving your bone shield stacks for later, there's really just not many big brain tips for Zav. Your Dancing Rune Weapon can parry his brutal combo, but that's about it.
Dodge. Dodge. BDK incoming.
Let's see, who went down? Ah, nice. The Arcane Mage. I'm sure he's real happy about that. Nothing thrills an Arcane Mage more than losing all of their damage. Trust. Banner down. I'm just gonna stand in this. He doesn't really do much other tank damage, so...
Dodge.
Yeah, that's fair. With Sand Lane, it's a little... It's weird. On the one hand, you can't do that. On the other hand, I can get insane Death Strike crits. That's the trade-off, you know? The Rune of Sanguination being weird as it is, it's just so much damage. Yeah, definitely, I think it's worth it for the tank to focus on the banner. I don't think that there's... The banner is just too much movement speed loss, especially if you have, like, a priest. If you had, like, a comp that could entirely ignore the movement speed or, like, negate it, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's rough if you have, like, a priest or something. Sand Lane is so uptime dependent as well. It's just a lot of damage will be lost if I run out for that Deafening Crash, so I just pop the Death's Advance and, you know, ignore it. That's the Death Knight lifestyle, you know?
Frontal.
Now, the mage being the one who stays up is actually kind of a mixed bag. It just depends. Rune Tap is helpful, but Zav, he doesn't do that much damage if you have Dancing Rune Weapon up. If Dancing Rune Weapon's up, you're probably going to parry, like, at least 2 of 3 of them. So you just take, like, no damage. With Vamp Blood, it's pretty much entirely fine.
Our challengers have passed the first trial, but they're still a long way from the title!
Unfortunately, our mage doesn't have CDs. It's going to be pretty much on the Demon Hunter for this. Oh, can I make it? Can I make it? Ah, no, my stacks. It's okay. This one's not too bad to lose them on.
What we have here. Fresh meat.
I'm not going to pull that guy. He's too far. It's just like a waste of time. Oh, looks like the Balance Druid's going to, though. Legend? Oh. Uh-oh. My interrupt appears to have not interrupted. Okay, Blood is life. What's that little... What is he painting? Just a little banner. This guy is just taking his sweet time to die, unfortunately. Fortunately, my Blood Beast did not pop and pull. It would have been extremely funny if it did, I won't lie. Okay. We want to go down. grab the gas bag here.
Dodge.
Oh, got a Death Strike proc, which means it's time to spin, spin, spin.
Dodge.
Recording right now, what's up? Okay, thank you.
Dodge.
Pull this in. A little bit of damage on us, won't lie. I think I just accidentally turned up my head. Let's do that. There we go. Sorry, I got a little distracted there, I won't lie. Huge. I let everyone get over.
And tear. I'll catch something good.
Make sure to AMS that decaying strike, by the way.
Same coming.
If you don't, what can happen is you get like a disease that will reduce your max HP, which on any other class might not be as big of a deal, but for us it's kind of nasty, man.
Gonna chop you.
I have Tombstone for that one, so no need to use another defensive.
I'll catch something good.
Dodge. Incoming.
You to pieces. Open you up.
I'm gonna put down an AMZ. This is just to help reduce the amount of damage in here. It's nasty.
Dodge. Hooks incoming.
That was a little risky, I won't lie, I won't lie. A little bit of threading the needle.
Gonna chop you up.
We'll rune tap that one.
Dodge.
Escape.
You can. It's just you have to be like you have to time it right. Is the main thing. If you end up having
Hooks incoming.
any ads like accidentally get caught, or accidentally get like dotted or something, it can really put you in peril. Might have been a little slow there, I won't lie. But I've definitely seen monks paralyze in gods. I've not seen it done successfully in my groups before. I've seen people try it in my groups, but
Gonna chop you up.
part of it as well is you can actually dodge the leaps,
I'll catch something
uh,
good. Open you
which does help quite a bit with that,
Dodge.
escape.
if you do it effectively anyways. But yeah, CCing them is viable. It also, they die. The ads do die while CC'd. You know, they just slowly collapse. Which can be helpful for groups. It's just one of those things that I've not been able to get to work in a pub, you know?
More spare parts.
Dodge. Hooks incoming.
Another trial down.
They took my hook.
Like we might have some real
What am I supposed to do about that, man? Wait, says Wolf. For everyone. I agree. Grab you. Got everything here. Now we just need to get the Guardian.
It's too far away.
AoE.
Put down an AMZ here as well, just to help out. Our AMZ has a very short cooldown, so at least mine does. I like to talent into. No, I mean I don't even have the thing talented. It's just a 2-minute cooldown, which is still really good. I definitely think it's worth sending in most situations where there's a bit of damage. Save a couple seconds by running ahead of the group, making sure that I have that portal key in and ready. And now it's back to the Death Strike mines. Got a nice little proc there. As you can see, with the Death Strike proc, my damage goes up to like 6 million. That's why Sand Lane is so good right now. A couple of procs there means that I just about have the highest damage in that pool, pretty much. And that's with like Blood is Life being 16 mil. It was just all Death Strikes, pretty much. Let myself get back shot a little bit there, won't lie. Last second grip there to stop the priest from getting annihilated.
Too far away.
Dodge. Dodge. Dodge.
Get Tombstone.
Dodge. Dodge.
Uh-oh. Troll a little bit here. That's fine.
Dodge.
There's not really too much for me to lose.
Dodge.
Or for me to lose perk 2.
Dodge.
So it should be okay.
Out of range.
Dodge.
I wonder why the Naku defensive music hasn't come on. It should be in this playlist. I don't know about you, but the Naku offensive music goes hard as fuck. I can't think of a single person who doesn't enjoy the boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's here. Okay, we're listening to it. Making the executive decision.
Dodge. Dodge.
Banger. The Naku defensive, I know a lot of people didn't like it.
Dodge.
I kind of loved it. I think that, yeah, the flying mechanic made it a little awkward, I won't lie. But I thought it was very cool. Balakar Khan was like a crazy boss, though. That was one of the few bosses that like would consistently scare me. I've improved a lot since then, but still, I imagine Balakar would have me on my toes. Similar to Dalecry this season. Bum, 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 bum.
To claim.
Orbs. Debuffs.
I used Lichborn for this one. I probably should have just AMS'd and had the extra running power. One thing that I do on this boss, I tend to just stand in the circles. They don't really do enough damage to, like, concern me, even with the tank buster going on, so...
Orbs.
You know. Just, like, throwing in an AMS for the Necrotic Eruption usually does the trick. The main danger of this boss is not the draw souls. They're just too slow for it to be, like, super concerning. The main danger of this boss is the necrotic bolts hitting someone who has Well of Darkness. If you prevent that, you've pretty much done the fight. Like, that's the main thing here. Also, making sure you don't have a bomb limb running whenever draw soul happens. That's pretty important, to be honest. Group that one up with Scorpions.
Orbs. Debuffs.
Put an AMZ on that guy. Making sure that our Well of Darkness homies live, because that is the main damage in this fight. Nothing else really hurts. The souls or whatever, they heal slowly, which kind of sucks. But they don't do the Cinder Brew thing where they, like, get enraged. At least not to my knowledge. I've never experienced it anyways. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. They must have put this shit at, like, the bottom of the playlist. The boss doesn't melee anyone if you walk away, by the way.
Orbs.
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to pad a little bit. I got a proc. It feels too good not to, right? Guys, trust, I'm helping. You needed me to use Death Strike on those. Trust. I'll be honest, I do some unethical damage from time to time. Yeah, you absolutely can. Oh, that guy just died. There's no downside to it. It used to be that she would melee people. They removed that in a hotfix recently, so...
Incredible! Our challengers have conquered the trials and advanced to the final round! Return to the central chamber! It's time to begin the main event!
What were you using? Sorry, or are you just talking about leaving melee range? You can tell I've got that gamer ADHD where I can barely remember what the conversation I'm having is.
Reigning champion the Theater of Pain has ever known! Ordretha, the Endless Empress!
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. There was a time when that could kill someone. That time is no longer here. You didn't say the thing. So I don't want to use AMS on the first Reaping side. I'm going to use Icebound Fortitude instead. The reason will become apparent in a second. Using the rateability timeline, what I can do, I can prevent myself from spawning an ad with Manifest Death while also having AMS up for Reaping side. I just have to time it right. So she does Grasping Rip. Now I'm going to AMS. I don't make any ad, and then just at the tail end of AMS, the Reaping Scythe hits, boom. It's one of my favorite little, like, Death Knight techs in this dungeon.
My magic reaches beyond.
You have to pay close attention to the timer, but it's just like a little less pressure on your group, pretty much.
Death itself demands your
And you can AMS each Manifest Death, and each Manifest Death generally comes with a Reaping Scythe. The only thing that can kind of mess it up is whenever she does Echoes of Carnage. Yeah, so like after this Dark Devastation, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait a second for her animation to end as well. Now I do. You don't want to do it immediately as Dark Dev ends. And that'll put me just in time to have it for Reaping Scythe. I know it's kind of degen, but I thought it was really cool. It's not like an insane benefit, but I don't know. I like to enjoy what skill expression I can with DK, you know? AMZ's out. Okay, well we just like Golunka overlap here. That's totally fine.
Charges incoming.
Pretty much, yeah.
You shall be swept into oblivion.
Especially with a priest. Priests don't have the ability to interrupt their ad, so it can be very helpful. He's about to do Manifest Death, so I'm waiting right about now. You can do it while she's, like, doing the animation as well.
Charges incoming.
We'll grab Wolf Priests.
Magic reaches beyond your
I may be letting myself get bounced around a little bit here, I won't lie.
Dodge.
We're gonna move over here a little bit, because we don't want to be on top of the bull spawns.
Charges incoming.
My magic reaches beyond your mortal ken.
Right about now.
Dodge.
I might have done that slightly too early. That is alright.
Charges incoming.
Death itself demands
Where is that guy
your
going?
souls. My magic reaches beyond your mortal ken.
GG.
Yes! Moldretha has been defeated! I can hardly believe it! All hail the new champions of the arena! Victory and glory are yours! May you fight forever! More walkers!
Thank you for the group. That puts me another 18 floodgate. I'm living in a circle, man. I could try it again. Though I'm gonna try and queue for one that's a little easier first. And my reasoning for doing that is because I might pull my hair out if another person DCs at the last second. Yeah, you can start with Icebound. Lichborn and Vamp Blood also work. Mordretha, her Reaping Scythe does a lot of damage, but you only need like 1 DR to live it. 9 times out of 10. If you're already low for some reason, then you might want to pop something extra. But honestly, it's a pretty chill experience, I would say. My Floodgate route, let me go over here. This one is actually sort of accurate. Okay, so number 1, we do this big pull. Everyone kind of knows it by now, I feel. Number 2, what I like to do, there's some boxes over here. You can jump along them. Puts you like on the edge right here. You can pull the hyena whenever the bots go. so you don't have to do the weird, like, walk up the stairs thing. Pull them, jump down, grab that hyena, grab this guy, pull them all together, get a couple of bombshell crabs, and depending on your comp, you either go from there, or... Sorry. Depending on your comp, you either want to go from there, or you want to, you either want to chain, or you want to kill them one at a time. In the floodgate that I did before this, what I ended up doing was I chose not to chain, because we had an outlaw rogue, and it's just like, you've got capped damage, there's just no point. Or at least I chained when they were very low and pretty much going to die. Damn. No invite. After that, go over here, grabbing all of the divers. You want to sort of group these ones up. The way that their harpoon works is they don't cast it all at once. You probably noticed. They cast it one at a time, but if they're far enough away, then multiple of them can cast at once. So you want to group those guys up and then make your way over to the architect. That way you don't end up having a situation of just like 2 or 3 harpoons going off. It just wouldn't be tenable. Get them up to the architect, and then kill that guy, go up here, standard pull for 4, demolition duo. After that, pull 6, you want to grab these 2 demolitionists with grip onto the demolitionist here. And sort of the reason that you do that is just because the demolitionists won't move otherwise. And that's sort of your goal. You want to group the demolitionists up. If Lust is already up, you may want to skip these packs, which you can do with like a priest, and then do Mother and then go back. But that's sort of up to your discretion. Floodgate's a very fluid dungeon, I would say. I like to pull this pack here onto the boss, if I can, go through the stairs. If we have to skip this one first, then the way that we handle that instead is we would soothe this inspector and take the soldiers. You can pull more if you're not a capped group on AoE. Sorry, I know it's a lot of information all at once. I don't know if you've done the Blood Warper skip before, but I pulled this guy onto Mother first, then after like the first jump start, I jump to taunt or to infect one of these guys here. They walk down, they don't pull the Blood Warper. Then I can go to pull 7, and we're going from there. Actually, I think this one... Weird. Something's not quite right. But yeah, you can pull these loader bots on. Over here, get a couple of bomb crabs onto the kelp. You can also pull one onto the boss if you need to keep up your stacks. Just be careful about that. The way that you skip bubbles is... I mean, it's pretty much just the way that you would skip bubbles in with any other class. You just need Shadow Meld. If you don't have that, you'll need someone else who's able to skip bubbles. So that's sort of up to you. Skip bubbles, pull this area, pull these guys. I skipped the jump starter here because of the fact that Blood just doesn't have a way to consistently skip the 2 after it. And then that's pretty much my set. I'd say it's pretty chill overall. We're gonna see if we can get into one of these keys. I'm not counting on it, but we'll see. I love this song, man. We'll give it a couple of minutes. If we don't have any luck, then I'll list my own and we'll go from there. Well, I kind of get it. The big issue is Blood. Blood is currently competing with Unholy for the slot in the keys. Unholy brings plenty of damage, and because Blood doesn't have a raid buff, it doesn't fit into, like, the physical comp. Physical comp, you know, you've got all of these other physical classes. You want either, like, a Druid for burst, a Brewmaster for the increase to physical damage, or perhaps a Warrior for Battle Shout. So we don't fit into physical comp, we deal physical damage, so we don't benefit from, like, Chaos Brand if we try to do a magic comp. Basically, Blood, it is, because it doesn't have a raid buff currently, it struggles a lot to fit into, comps and bring a group benefit, rather than just having its own damage and its own, like, survivability. There's also just, like, certain things like, we don't have Misery or Imprison for skips, which means that we tend to have to do, like, a Junkyard version if we want to skip, like, the double Hobgoblins, for example. We don't have, like, the glaives that Demon Hunters do. We can't... I saw a clip the other day of a Demon Hunter throwing a glaive, like, 60 yards away, to hit a mob at the other end of the room. Oh man, don't get me started on Gorfian's Grasp. What gets me about Tightening Grasp isn't just the fact that, like... I'm not annoyed necessarily by the fact that Tightening Grasp doesn't do the kick. I think that it should, but it has a longer duration, so whatever. I kinda get it. And it's not like a placed thing the way that other ones are. I'm not destroyed by it. What annoys me the most is the fact that, like... What annoys me the most is the fact that if you target a creature that has, what's the word? Target a creature that's immune to silence, all of the other mobs around it don't get silenced whenever you use Tightening Grasp. And it's like, what? Well, what's the point? Yeah. It's just a bizarre bug to have, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, pretty much. The only value of Bloodied Blade right now is... the only value of Bloody Blade right now is the fact that it lets you get both Umbilicus and Bloodshot. Otherwise, it's just, like, pointless. I don't even run the Umbilicus Bloodshot thing. I run Umbilicus Consumption, or I run Consumption Bloodshot. I would definitely recommend Consumption on Deathbringer. It's just so much extra damage. I'm trying to think about what comp I want for this key, is the thing. I think balance is good in here, for the most part. Yeah, I agree with the Death and Decay buff being better than Bloodied Blade for sure. What I think they need to do is I think they need to make Tightening Grasp I think they need to make Gorfine's baseline and Tightening Grasp a separate talent. I would also like for them to, like, merge Everlasting Bond into, like, Insatiable Blade or something, and just free up, like, one extra talent point. I think that would be huge. But at the same time, I recognize that the Blood DK devs probably want there to be drawbacks to going full damage. The only issue is that because the devs aren't, like... They seemingly aren't across the board in agreement on how they want to handle it, it tends to lead to a bit of, like, disparity, like with Demon Hunter. Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like, a Demon Hunter just has its cake and eats it too. At this point, I don't know, is MDI over yet? That's a big part of it, is with MDI going on, it would just, like, it would be bad for them to change it. Oh no. thanks for hopping in, Zimpita. Yeah, that, I'll be honest, I was mad, but like, it is what it is, right? I'm not gonna complain too hard about it. Like, that's just life. Sometimes the power goes out, and hey man. Theoretically, we could have timed that if I let us have Lust if I let us go to Mama with Lust and we had it at the start of, what's his name? Of Swamp Face. We would have been fine. What's crazy is you didn't actually die during the pull, because we, like, saving Private Ryan you pretty much. But we just slightly didn't have the damage to make up for it, so we were over, like, 6 seconds, I think. Oh yeah, the nerf to stops was just devastating for DK, I feel. Especially since we don't have many to begin with. I appreciate it, man. I actually pushed the 17, and it became an 18 floodgate again. So, it is what it is, right? Now I'm back where I started, pretty much. No, I felt like that was a pretty good group. Pretty good group. Just a little unfortunate at the end, but that's life. I mean, it's... maybe. It's not been too long. I don't know, time flies when I'm trying to time, you know? Thank you for the follow, Ciolas. I appreciate that, man. I feel like I've seen your name before, Seolas. But yeah, I was about to say, like, that name is familiar to me. I remember you. Yeah, no, people love to eat rocks in that fight, or in that dungeon. I don't pull it too crazy at the start, just because it's not generally necessary. my main thing is making sure that we keep the cart moving, and that does most of the work, I'd say. We got Scar again. Scar has been a pretty consistent arrival in my keys, I'd say. He has a habit of just like popping in and being there. I like this guy because he tends to invite me to groups, which is, I know, it's extremely high bar, but he pretty consistently invites me to like 17s and shit like that, which is nice. I don't even know if he recognizes me between them all. I assume he has Raider IO telling him, but... Do I want an Elemental Shaman? I don't hate it. We do kind of need a little bit of range. Also, I hit my 60 follower goal off of that. I guess I should update the goal. Workshop, grabbing 2 trails is fine. My recommendation... Are you running a Night Elf, Nolan? Thanks for the follows in beta. Hopefully we get some more keys done together. I feel like we were chilling if the power outage didn't happen. Yeah, unfortunately, not playing a Night Elf makes it harder. I usually, you know, that's why I swapped, to be honest. I usually skip the first drill and just pull forward. I would say, if you don't have good communication on the gunks, it might be worth doing 2 separate pulls, especially depending on your comp. Some of them are capped AoE. It sucks. I don't like it, but it's just... There's just not a good way to guarantee that people don't end up gunking themselves. I'm like kind of scared to take a shaman, I'm not gonna lie. Fuck it, man. The worst that happens is I end up in Theater of Pain again, and the cycle continues. Yeah, I'm leveling up my Nitro boots, or I'm leveling up to get my Nitro boots, but I've been able to do all of the skips without them. I would say the only one that I struggle with on consistency or the ones that I struggle with the most on consistency is the last pack in Mechagon, and the double Hobgoblins in Cinderbrew. But you can do it with just Wraithwalk. Wraithwalk and Death's Advance for most of these is totally fine. I don't know if you're in the Kyrasis Discord at all, or the Blood DK Analysis Discord, that is, but they actually have information... Oh, link it. They actually have a dungeon resources channel that shows you Death Knights doing the different skips. Okay. So if I go to the dungeon resources, yeah, it's mostly Nagi. But he has 3. He has 1 for Bubbles, 1 for Workshop, last pull, first pull. Yeah, he's using Nitro, but I've done them without Nitro. Specifically on the Peacekeeper one, I don't know if you did it this way, but the Peacekeeper one, all you have to do is mount ahead. Wraithwalk, it can be done. You might need, if you really want to be safe, you could take March of Darkness, but then you have to drop, like, Runic Protection, which is kind of scary, I won't lie. But it's doable. At the very least, Bubbles is a very chill one. The reason it's beneficial is just for timing, right? The fact of the matter is, if you pull that first drill, it doesn't give you enough percent. Or at least, I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't give you enough percent to actually, like, skip pulling these dogs, right? So that drill is essentially a dead pull. Well, you want to skip both of them, is the thing. So you skip the first drill, then you can just pull all of this here, and then you skip the second drill as well, and it reduces the amount of pulls that you have to do fairly substantially, even if it doesn't initially look like it. It means you can pull all of these together mostly safely, because there's only the one mega drill happening. It definitely, it feels good. If you mess up the skip, you can do it in like 2 separate pulls, but hey man, I'm happy to help. See. I'll just ask this guy if he needs stacks before we start. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some Ellies do it. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I get that, man. I'm glad that I can be some help. Yeah, it's one thing that I like to do. You know, sometimes you get like combat locked or whatever. I like to kill the critters and then just shadow meld it.
5.
I mean, it's not super crazy, but I found in Cinderbrew it's weirdly helpful. I may have forgotten to take Umbilicus here. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, we're gonna do that.
Frontal.
Immediately, I found Fortitude at the end of the dancing rune weapon. Not having Umbilicus is very scary right now, so. As you can see from my ping-ponging health, this is a very good key to have it in.
Free move incoming. Move.
Pull's going on a little long here, so we have to be very careful.
Frontal.
And people disconnect in here a lot, it seems.
Free move incoming. Move.
We can continue again we can continue slightly forward. We'll do our best. Yeah, no, it's pain. Yeah, I normally would as well. I just have one of my players is disconnected, so I'm kind of like holding off for a second. And like I said, I don't have Umbilicus right now. Well, that's probably doomed. I would have 2 nickels.
Free move incoming.
It's all good, man. This key is pretty cooked anyway. It's just because the guy disconnected. It's kind of crazy that it's happened twice today. I'm just gonna give this guy a question mark. Well, looks like I got a 17 floodgate now. My heart. It's I remember you. Okay. I try not to use it too harshly, but basically it just, you can put down a little note, frowny face, smiley face, whatever. You can also put why you put said frowny face or smiley face. I'm just gonna put, I will cook. My keys, I will cook, sir. Mass silence and all. I'm gonna take tightening grasp for this guy. But no, it's pretty helpful. I tend to use it for people who I don't like personality-wise, I'll be honest. But sometimes, if something egregious happens like that, I'll do it as well. I think, one time I put, like, a frowny face because the guy just, like, the entire time was complaining, and it's, man, chill. We are literally doing our best. I'm gonna put in a few applications, you know, try and get an internship. See if I get any luck going on here, but otherwise, let's see. I probably, if I don't get invited, I probably don't have time to do another key, like set one up. Yeah, I mean the VOD is available. I don't like purge them or anything like that. Though it might also be, I might also be in an angle where I need to end the stream anyways, just because in about 30 minutes I'm gonna be playing some Outlast with a friend of mine. I will say though, thank you for tuning in, man. It was nice to have some quality engagement. I like talking with people. It's fun. GG's. I will try my best. See you, man.